The little known secrets to having a great romantic relationship and age-free marriage that divorce lawyers don't want you to know. Hello, and welcome to this webinar where I will place in your hands tools you will use to discern if you are in a relationship with the right or wrong partner. Marriage can be beautiful and it can be age-free if you are ready to put in the work. I'm so happy to have you here today because at the end of this webinar, you will not be wasting precious time going into a relationship with the wrong person, which means that if you stay to the end of this webinar, you will be 50% close to having a age-free marriage. Now, it's no longer news that in the world we live today, 9 out of 10 marriages fail in the first 5 years. And what does that mean? 5 years is the number of years of test running if something will work or not. So if your marriage will work, the first 5 years is actually a test time. Now, it is not me making this up, but a report from divorce statistics goes on to confirm that 50% of marriages eventually end up in dissolution. As at 2019, Abuja had 30 cases of troubled marriages on a daily basis at the Abuja Secretariat. And in fact, in 2020, an Abuja-based lawyer reported there have been 4,000 cases of divorce as at February 2020. That means less than 2 months into the year 2020. This is so devastating, and it's not something that should continue. So, who is this person talking to me and why should I listen to him? My name is Olanrewaju Folorunsho. I'm a relationship doctor. Have been practicing for 17 years, helping people to get their relationship, their marriages, and their purpose right. Yeah, I know I look young to you, but so far I've been able to work with over 1,000 families and over 5,000 singles that we have on earth. Okay, here's the deal. If you stay to the end of this webinar, I'll put more than just the tool you can use to discern a wrong partner in your hands for you to get my free ebook on 10 deadly myths that turns a romantic relationship into a living hell. These myths are really deadly because they have been programmed into our mind and we subconsciously act them out in our lives. Now, imagine you're married to a carnivorous animal like a lion, and you have to spend the rest of your life with a lion, but at every chance, the lion is trying to eat you. Wow, this is very, very pathetic. Would you be, sorry, would that be a nice way to spend the rest of your life? Hmm. I wanted to think about that. But in reality, this analogy depicts how some people are having the rest of their lives. They are having the rest of their lives living with people like that and they are struggling. Wow. According to research, people don't want to get married for many reasons, which includes number one, parents' marriage did not go well. The marriage of their friends is nothing to write home about. And on the third flip, their favorite celebrity is experiencing a chartered marriage. You see, it takes only one wrong partner to ruin a relationship after interviewing over 50 people who have had to divorce their partners and those who have had countless numbers of broken relationships. I realized that the problem is not the wrong person due to their nature, is that the wrong person due to their nature make a romantic relationship or a marriage a living hell. Whether they know that they are the cause or not, the inevitable is a broken relationship or a broken marriage. This is also so devastating. But you see, marriage is sweet, and relationships the can be blissful. But there are groundworks that needs to be done before it can be possible. What can be more beautiful than having two right people in a relationship or in a marriage? The important ingredient, two right people, is what makes it possible for them to have a each-free marriage. So without much ado, let's go right into the webinar. What does it mean to be right? That's the first thing I want us to actually look at. The acronym for right, the word RIGHT, is R, real and rare. If you want to enjoy your relationship, to be the right partner, you have to be real. You don't have to fake it. You need to tell people the person that you are, and then you can be able to enter into a relationship and then have a blissful time enjoying it. If you are real, you'll be rare to come by. And what does that mean? That means that people cannot just have you at their fingertips. It has to take a lot to be able to have you as a partner, because you have imputed a lot of things into your life and you want to impact their lives with it. Integrity and indispensable is what the I stands for. What is integrity? An I that does not bend. And that means that when you say your words, that is the way the word will stand. And that means that that word will not change. And what does the word indispensable means? It means that people can't do without you. That means that you are an ingredient that makes the soup or the pot of soup that I call marriage an interesting one. You are bringing something to the table, you are adding value, and then definitely you get value back. Growing and giving. Like what I used to say, if you are not growing, you are groaning in that relationship. You need to check your relationship and check it right. Now, on the second flip is giving. I always love to say this also. If you want to get without giving in relationship, is stealing. So anybody who wants to be the right partner must be ready to give your time, your energy, every necessary thing that will make that relationship work has to be put into it. The H is happy, humorous, and honorable. Whatever you put honor on becomes a honorable thing. And the first thing that needs to happen is for you to have honor for yourself. The most challenging person to lead in life is you. You can tell others that, okay, do so thing, do so and so thing, and they will do it. But what about you doing it? You need to place honor on yourself before other people can begin to receive honor from you. Humor is also very important. You don't have to be tight in your look. You don't have to be too serious. Everything is not about just being too serious and being, angry, or just not being yourself fully, because we were not created for isolation but for association. And if you want to associate, there will be a need for humor. You have to be happy too. Then the T talks about being truthful. You need to be truthful every hour, every minute, every second, every day. When you say A, let people meet it as A. When you say this is black, let people look at it and say, oh, truly, that's black. Then you have to be teachable. Being teachable is to learn from others. I love to always tell people that I enter into every day learning. A child could be somebody you will learn from. A protege could be somebody you learn from. A mentor also could be somebody you learn from. So it's very, very important. Now, let's go to 10 ways to know if you are a right partner. There are about 10 ways for you to be able to know after you get the acronym for being right. Number one, have an inkling of him. That's the relationship creator. His wisdom is needed in your life. Now, this wisdom I'm talking about is not academic wisdom. It's not the wisdom for you to just be able to run things around your business. This one is talking about relational wisdom. There is the wisdom that is needed that makes your relationship to work. And that wisdom has to be gotten from the relationship creator himself. This wisdom teaches you how to deal with people without having issues with them. It teaches you how to be able to relate with people, and then you're going to have a blissful time out every time you meet. Then knowledge, what you know determines how you flow. If you are not in the know, you cannot be in the flow. Knowledge is key. Who do you learn from? Who are the people that are really motivating you to do what you're doing? Because we all enter into every day learning one thing or the other. It's very important for you to be able to know what that relationship creator expects you to know before you can then enter into a relationship and then be the right partner. Then understanding. There's something I call misunderstanding. Misunderstanding says that you miss to understand what is being communicated. And when you miss to understand what is being communicated, it means that you have to ask questions in order to be able to come to the understanding level, and the two of you will be at the same page. Or maybe whoever you are having relationship with, it could be a group or more people. Then have affection for only one partner. You see, in every relationship, affectionate relationship, you cannot love two people. As a lady, you cannot love two guys. As a guy, you cannot say, I love these two ladies. It's not possible. Your heart, your affectionate heart, your affectionate part is actually meant for one person. You need to understand all this, because that is what makes you to know if you are the right partner. If you love more than one person, then you are confused. And confusion will bring more problems. Okay, have an understanding that words are powerful and covenant based. Words are powerful. For example, if I say I love you, I have committed myself into something that is very, very important, and I will need to follow through that statement that I've said. I cannot say I love you today and break your heart tomorrow. So when I say I love you, a covenant is coming forth through that statement that I've made. So that means that I have to follow through. Now, let me tell you a secret. Emotion cannot lead you. It's maturity that leads you. In relationships, emotion does not lead you. You can have an urge, you can have um, something towards someone, a likeness, a kind of likeness, but that is not what will lead you. You need to sit down and count the costs. It's very important. Now, number 4, when you treat others the way you want to be treated, that shows that you are responsible. How do you treat other people? The way you treat other people determines how they will actually rate you. Now, there's one thing that's very important. The way you treat people is actually like you placing your CV before that person, and it will determine if the person will welcome you into their organization, which happen to be their lives. They can decide to welcome you, they can decide not to welcome you. You need to treat people very well. Give them the best shot the first time, and make sure that there's continuity in that best shot that you're giving them. Then obey the rules of the 5 magic words. You must learn to say please when you want somebody to help you take something. You must learn to say forgive me when possibly you err or you say something that will hurt the other person. You need to say excuse me. Possibly you want to interrupt a particular because you wanted to add something that will be valuable. You need to learn how to do that also. Excuse me, can I? Then the person will listen to you, not only just look at you. I am sorry. In this webinar, I wrote, I am sorry, not that you just say to someone sorry. Sorry is not enough. Sorry could be thrown at someone, but when you say I am sorry, it is deep from your heart. And then the word thank you. The final, the five says thank you. In everything that people do to you, learn to appreciate them. It's a sign of being a right partner. Then number six says Mr., Miss, and Mrs. Do good. That means if you are not in a marriage or you are in a marriage, you must do good to people. The fear of the relationship creator is fairness to men. If you are not fair to people, then you don't have the fear of the relationship creator. Make sure that you enter into your day looking for somebody to add value to. When you add value to people, value will come your way. Marry someone like you. Now, let me tell you something about this. Comparability is greater than compatibility. When it comes to comparability, that person looks like you. For example, you have integrity. The other person needs to have integrity before your relationship can be in order. So if you have integrity, an eye that does not bend, but the other person's eye is bending, then there's a problem. That means that that relationship will not work. So you need to understand that you must marry someone that is like you. If I may ask, how many people got to know their partners before they got married to them? Or possibly you are in a relationship. Did you get to know that person? That the person looked like you? Let me start from the level of spirituality. Spiritually, in handling matters and in dealing with people. Frankly speaking, the person that is coming into your life, either to be in a relationship with you or to marry you, would have started practicing it somewhere, which is their immediate family. Okay, number eight, hide nothing from your spouse. Don't hide anything. Immediately you become secretive, then more problems will come up. Because when your partner gets to know that thing that you're trying to hide, it becomes a future problem. And then divorce is in view. Misunderstanding, not taken care of, to become understanding, becomes divorce in the future. Be fair to all human beings. When you meet people, be fair to them. Don't treat them like trash. You have a car, somebody you are speaking with, or you have an opportunity to talk to, doesn't have a car, does not make that person less than you. You might want to climb a particular rung on the ladder tomorrow, and that person might be the person you will need. Number 10, which is the last one concerning that. Think 7 times before taking decision or taking decisions. Your decision determines your destiny. I call something deliberate, intentional decision. For you to be deliberate, take intention into it before you can decide. It goes a long way. Don't take rash decisions so that it will not affect you eventually in life. Now, going to the next slide, I want to tell you 12 ways to know you are in a relationship with the right partner. Number one, the partner must have discovered purpose and have a vision. When the purpose of a thing is not known, my going to say, abuse is inevitable. I say it this way: when the purpose of a life is not known, abuse of that life is inevitable. Number one, the person that owns that life will abuse it. Number two, people will come into that life and also abuse that life. So you need to understand your purpose. Let me just give you a brief breakdown of purpose here. Priority upon reasonable pace of sensible epitome. So you must prioritize everything you are doing. Prioritize the kind of people that come into your life. Prioritize your day. Plan your day. Have a vision for your life. Because if you don't have a vision, it means that you have a television, and meaning that you are following other people's vision. You need to have your individual vision that you're following. Then, number two, the partner must be trustworthy. Truth is key. Look at that word, trust. And that means the person is worthy. The person is worthy to come into your circle. You control your circle, but you may not be able to control every other circle in life. But that's your circle that that person is coming into must be well prepared so that when that person is coming into it, you will have been able to check that person with your purpose. Really, if you don't know your purpose, it will be very hard for you to be able to know the person that is coming into your life because your purpose checks the person's purpose out. He or she must observe the six important laws of friendship, courtship, and marriage. Of friendship, courtship, and marriage. What are these laws? Number one, spiritual maturity. If somebody is not spiritually matured, who is the person actually following as a superior in the realm of the spirit? You need to have an agreement on that. Number two, physical maturity. How old is the person? That's talking about age. It's not just talking about how hefty the person look like. Somebody can have 6 packs without impact. So you must be careful about what you go for. Then emotional maturity. Can that person wait or can the person not wait for you when it comes to sex? If the person cannot wait, the person that cannot wait today will definitely not wait to stay with you tomorrow. Financial maturity. There's something I call financial intelligence training. Fit. You must be fit financially before you can say that you want to enter into marriage. Then social maturity. How do you treat people? How do you relate with people? Is it on point? What are the words that come out of your mouth? Are they vulgar languages? Or do you abuse people? You have to be very, very careful in that area. Then when you get out there, can you really socialize? Can you mix up with people? Can you convince people? Then that is very, very key. You need to understand this one. The material maturity. That means that you must have a place and you must have all the necessary things in that place before you can begin to know that you are in a relationship with the right partner. You need to understand that on both sides, these 6 areas must be very, very uh, important to you. You must discuss it. He or she must also understand the law or the arrangement for marital fulfillment. What are these laws? Number one, purpose. You need to know your purpose, and then your purpose will check the purpose of the other person that's coming into your life so that you can be able to check if the two of you can be together. Then, number two, love life. How do you want to plan your love life? Do you want a romantic marriage, a romantic relationship, something that will be heaven on earth for you, something that will be very blissful, and you will not have to be struggling to stay with the other person? Let me give you an example. If you argue, like, let's say 3 times in a week, is a seed, it's going to become a tree. 3 times a week can end up to become 7 times a week in that marriage. So you have to be careful about that. Then, your home setting. How do you want your home to look like? How do you want your children to be trained? How many children do you want to give birth to? Is not as important as how those children will be trained. Because if the two of you discover your purposes, you must be able to help those children also discover theirs, and then you'll be able to move forward. Then proper financial planning and investments. The number one thing I always advise everyone to do, even as a single person, is to have an investment. Have an investment before you get married, so that when some other things that you may not be able to control at a particular point happens, your investment will take care of things. there should have been a problem. So that means you have solved the financial problem that will have led to all manner of things and eventually divorce. And then your ministry. What's talking about your ministry? It's talking about the kind of work you do and the kind of things you want to really achieve, the value you want to add to humanity. Okay? Then he or she must be your friend. Mhm. Frenemy is different from enemy because the person can be your friend at a point and be your enemy later on. But you need a friend, somebody who can stand by you. A friend in need, let's say, is a friend indeed. So you need to learn to know that that person is your friend. Who should you even marry? It is that friend that is always there and adding value to your life. You see, friendship is perfect blendship. When you have a friend who has value to you, your marriage will be a perfect blendship. He or she must be passionate about you, talk about you, cherish you, and be willing to die for you. Okay, this last aspect looks so challenging. When I say die for you, I did not mean that the person should actually die physically. That means that that person is ready to go extra mile for you. That person is ready to defend you. That person is ready to stand when issues crop up that concerns you. That's the person that can actually, be in a relationship with you or be in that marital journey with you. You can be on the same ship having a relationship, but you can be on that same ship without a relation. That would be worse. For you to be on a ship without a relation, that means that you are in a relationship, but the person is not really there. He or she must be accountable to at least one person. If you are in a relationship with somebody that nobody can talk to them, then you cannot address that person. You should know. If there is nobody you can see around that can tell the person straight when things are going wrong, especially, then you in that relationship will not be able to control that situation. So you must know that that person has someone who they are accountable for, especially for their character. There's something I call character assassination. Character assassination is somebody who has attitudinal problems. But character acceleration is a positive attitude. He or she must be trained in the three principles of success, which are wisdom. Then I've come to the physical level now. Wisdom. This wisdom that we are talking about is wisdom from the academic level, intellectual level, then bringing it to your business. Understanding, you must understand the kind of business you want to do part time before you go into it. That means that you must do all the necessary feasibility study before you go into that business. Then knowledge, you must know the business. That's the meaning. Because when you want to live together and you want to be successful in that marriage, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge is very key. All the rich guys you see all over the world, they have this principle in the realm of the physical, and that is why things are working for them. He or she must be willing to communicate all things to you effectively. Comprehension is very key because communication without comprehension is confusion. You are confusing that person you are talking to. Comprehension means that the person will understand what you are saying per time. It's not about just communication, it should be effective, and that means that comprehension is needed. Wisdom in relationship and marriage is application. Understanding is comprehension. Knowledge is information. So let's look at these three. Information without comprehension can never lead to application. He or she must understand the five love languages, obey the rules and regulation of these five love languages, and be willing to learn. Number one, Act of service. Every man is in need of someone to help them, one way or the other. As I'm speaking to you now, you need somebody to help you. And as you are hearing me, also, there's somebody that will be at the back of your mind that you need to help, that will be coming to your site. Act of service is very important. Then physical touch. There are some people, especially the female gender, even we males, need to be patted at the back. Some need to be touched on their hands for them to feel that your presence is really counted by them. Then we have words of affirmation. I believe everyone should do that. Your words must be able to elevate the life of the other person, even when they make errors. There is a way you can correct them in love, and that is through the words of affirmation. Then gifts. Everybody loves gifts, someone told me, and I really agree. If you give me gift now, I'll take it and I'll be happy. But that gift must not be something that will pervert judgment. But gift is very important. Then quality time. Everybody needs to be given time. Spend quality time with people and then make sure you add value to them. He or she must be ready to lead and support you. Yes, everybody, the first thing they do is to lead their lives, either as a male or as a female. And then on the second flip, support is very key. Then, frankly speaking, to be right means to be correct. Mm, you have to be correct. It is when you are correct that you be current. Because when you are not correct, you can never be current. To be right is to bring valuable to relationship table. If you are not right, it will be very hard to bring value to relationship table. Being right is to have a right stand up without wavering. Right rarely attracts wrong unless impurities are gradually cropping up in that rightness. When you are right and you see the wrong person coming into your life, check it. There's possibility that you are deviating from the normal way that you have been doing things before. To be right is to bring valuables to a relationship table. It is about giving, not getting. But there is this secret that you cannot give without getting back. It is the law of karma. Whether you like it or not, there will always be return on investment. Everybody that invests will definitely get ROI, return on investment. After sowing seed, which will be in form of decisions made on daily basis, then after sowing your seed, ROI must come because Mr. Justice will bring multiple folds to the investor. When you invest, you must definitely harvest. Then let's go to emotional bank. Emotional bank account is a type of account everyone you have interacted with have with you. Some people left a red account with you due to their bad character. I call it a character assassination. And some people have a green account full with deposits. They have added more than, oh my God, they have added value than they ever collected from you. And that is what? Character acceleration. Accepting someone to be joined to your life is like a joint account where both parties celebrate parties all the time. Because it is better to be celebrating than to be tolerating your partner. Where deliberations and agreements are made before withdrawals can be made from the account. As I call it, emotional bank. You firstly make deliberations, agreements, then withdrawal will be the next thing that will come up. Now, emotional bank account is what determines withdrawal or deposit as character assassination, character acceleration, good character exists, and character assassination, bad character exists. Your deposit or withdrawal determines the happening or eventuality of relationship to choose or decide to accept someone. It is also like the old way of putting oxen together, which is yoke placement, a situation in which two oxen are connected together by a wooden stick that makes them stick together and move in the same direction. Okay? then this will be achieved and then maintained. That means that they will continue that journey together and there will not be any flaw. This yoke placement is never and cannot be a burden but a blessing to the family, that is the married creator, for effective and efficient delivery. Okay, how some people end up becoming the wrong partner. That's the opposite of right now that we are considering. To be the wrong partner actually started when the person was passing through the formative early years, meaning it started when the person was young. There are things that I have discovered, and over time they include number one, family values. Number one is talking about the father and mother of that individual, what they stand for, which is also connected to a carryover or balance brought forward from his or her parents and what they decide to do. Now, let me quickly chip in some things in that. When you were growing up, you saw some things that were happening in your home. Number one, you can decide to like it, and you can also decide to say, oh, this is not right. I want to change things. And then that is what takes us to the next one. You will now begin to have what I call personal values. These are the values that the personality have decided to hold on to all through his life. These two basic values form and create a norm that a personality eventually imbibes to align with. This value could be positive or negative, which will in turn make people either stay with them or depart from them. It is generally accepted that two wrongs don't make a right. Just imagine how powerful this sounds. When a personality is right, he or she will be able to fix things rightly, meaning the person is fit to be with you. To fix things in relationship is a lot of work put together because it is a committed, consistent, and continuous work in progress, as what you don't work on cannot work. For you to know if you are the right partner in a relationship, you need to learn to study the opposite sex and don't assume you know except you are being trained and tutored by a relationship doctor stroke coach. You can also do this through studying their books or subjects on the opposite sex. For example, the female gender is 70% emotional. They can do many things at a go. They can cook, carry the baby, answer a phone call, and gradually arrange the home. But the male gender is a logical sex and can concentrate only on one thing at a time. You need to know that very well. As a female, the male gender is logical. You just want to concentrate on one thing. As a male, the female gender can concentrate on a lot of things. It's just that the only issue there is that they'll be able to achieve one mostly out of those things that they concentrate on. Because that's the way man is being arranged. Okay, secondly, a woman can make a very important decision without considering the eventual result due to emotional connection, but a man, on the other hand, is programmed to think through things carefully, minding the consequences of his actions before making his decision. Thirdly, the female gender loves to be secured, while the male gender craves honor or respect, which eventually equals submission. The truth about marriage is that every partner who loves as a gift will receive submission as a return on investment of love they're given. The fourth thing is that the female gender serves as the thermometer and thermostat of the relationship. The thermometer is to check the hotness or coldness of the relationship, while the thermostat indicates whether there is a problem. On the other hand, men are the stethoscope that checks the heartbeat condition of the home. It helps to dictate if the home is breathing well. or if it has a seizure. Scientifically, it has been discovered that if an oxygen tank is being attached to the patient for an entire year, it will cost about 800 million naira or 16 million dollars. Now, I want you to join me in the relationship theater room. Let us do a quick medical diagnosis briefly. Just imagine that the thermometer or thermostat that are required to check the hotness or coldness of a body is unavailable, including the stethoscope to check the heart condition of a relationship. Will that relationship last? We all know the answer. That it is a no no. Of course, the answer is a capital no. It takes self-development to bring out the thermometer and thermostat in the life of the female gender and the stethoscope in the life of the male gender. Relationships are not by force, but by choice or decision. Every partner has the right to stay or walk away. However, the walking away must be done with the right motives or reasons that can be correctly verified by a relationship doctor. Now, what is the acronym for wrong? Where rightly occupied, never gaining. Imagine that an ant is in a web of the spider. It will struggle. And let's bring it to um, like what the fishers used to catch their fishes. When all these fishes are being brought into that net, they cannot escape. So you need to be careful about the wrong people. Okay, wrong relationship is not a result of a wrong person brought into one's life, but a wrong attitude demonstrated by the person. To further explain this, let me help you to always separate people from their problems. It is not optional to stay with a person with a wrong attitude, but advisable to avoid the web that will keep one unmovable for years, possibly. People with bad character were not born with a negative attitude or outlook to life, but it is as a result of wrong upbringing, personal decisions, and wrong associations as a way of boosting the evil perpetrated by these kinds of people. Bringing nothing to add into a relationship or not trying to multiply the treasures that have been deposited in a partner are two very strong signals of wrong relationships. Some other areas to know that one is in a wrong relationship are: one, he or she doesn't love you. When you don't feel loved in a relationship, walk away. It doesn't make sense. The partner does not always carry you along with their daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly plans. If you have a partner who doesn't care about you and tell you about the things they want to do in their lives, walk away. The person involved has no regard for you and does not honor or respect you. This kind of person can insult and shout at you at any time. Oh my God, this is so important that you check this out. You cannot see all this, this negative things happening, and you want to stay in a relationship. It is not going to be conducive. It has shown that that is a living hell. He or she will not introduce you to people that matter in your life. When a male or a female does not introduce you to people that matter in his or her life, then you are just like an acquaintance. Or let me reduce it very well so that you understand. You are just like a mate that does not really make sense to them. Their siblings, their friends, and other family members, they do not introduce you to them, then they don't value you. The partner can hit you when he or she is angry. Anybody who slaps you is just doing what we call testimony, or that person is just sowing the seed. Harvest will show up in marriage. That person will beat you up, blah blah. He or she tells lies over and over again. This person is comfortable using lies to cover up lies. This kind of people have a very tendency to double date, have many lovers, since they can easily cook up lies and they are controlled. Sorry, when they are confronted about it, they will say you have no rival. Meanwhile, you are number five in their list. That's so pathetic too. He or she robs you of valuable things without remorse. This kind of partner are scammers. They don't respect your decisions as they don't wait for you to make decisions in terms of sex, education, financial planning, marital decision making. They behave like an angry mob when you turn down their requests. What they want must be given or done, and their decision is the final. Whether it will affect you negatively or not, they don't really care. And no court of appeal can change their mind. This is so pathetic too. Right people always are at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing with the right people. Imagine that. Love, on the other hand, is not and can never be automatic because it is built on appreciation, likeness, and the gradual building of trust, like building with blocks. Love at first sight is usually infatuation or the person's physique, or lust. It's about the person's physique or you are lusting after that person. We all have our spec when it comes to the physical appearance. And when we come across the opposite sex that has the physical appearance, emotions start to rage. This is what some people misunderstand to be love at first sight. No, it is not love. It is lust or infatuation which does not stand the test of time, or it will fade away or die after a while. Love is the favor one gets from a person because of the value that person involved gives as a gift to the individual enjoying that favor. When you see someone, be it someone of the same sex or opposite sex, one thing you must first notice is the person's physical appearance, the stature of the person, beauty, and composure of that person. Then, after relating with the personality and gauge it with your personality expectation, you can then use that as a yardstick to measure and profile the person. If he or she will be fit for you, to relate with you, or to be avoided. Like I said earlier on, you need to do what I call reality checks to be able to award checks. That means if the person worth a million to you, you begin to write checks. If the person worth 2 million, you begin to write checks about that. Reality checks gives you the inkling into the real person that personality really is. It is actually done by testing the person with real life questions like the issues of lies. Really, a liar can kill you, like the popular Samson was killed by Delilah. True, she did not murder him with her bare hands, but she lied to him about loving him and sold someone who she claimed to love into the hands of people who want to take his life. True love does not harm and does not lie to his or her partner, as the lies end up hurting the receiver. There are three types of love, which are affectionate, we call it filial, natural, and agape, which is the divine love. And these three are having three levels, which is maneuvering, management, and maintenance. Loving somebody is a decision because the person chose to accept the other personality, meaning there is nothing forcefully binding them together in the event that a partner wants to stop the relationship. Love is as strong as death. It has a kind of jealousy that serves as a protection against intruders whose mission is to terminate the relationship or stunt the growth of the relationship. So when you love someone, you have a jealousy around them. You guide them jealously so that an intruder will not come and spoil the whole thing. It can be termed a mild jealousy because it is not aimed at destruction, but to block off negative personalities from contaminating the partner in the relationship. Anyone who loves you is patient with you, has your interest at heart, and wants to see you progress in life. Let's look at the three levels of love that I told you about. Now, maneuvering love is to both of you in control and in charge of the affair with fairness and fairness. What does that mean? That means that you are not controlling the other partner. The word control here actually means maneuver, and that does not mean you are controlling the person, but you are adding value to that person. The person is adding value to you, and the two of you are moving at the same page together. Management love. This is the kind of love when someone begins to depreciate in character or change like a chameleon from who they used to be or who you used to know. That person is said to be managed. This is very, very important. And you begin to see people change. Check them very well before you can say the relationship should continue. Maintenance love. This is about total deterioration in every area of life towards you. The person uses all the deposits he or she has put in your emotional bank account. The person has a zero account balance. They are like dirty farm tools which need to be cleaned. Now, I want you to just take a minute and think through all that you have heard today and just sincerely answer this question. Am I the right partner or the wrong partner? I want you to grade yourself, but I need you to be honest because if you are not honest with the grading, you will only be deceiving yourself. In fact, you have just successfully wasted your time watching this webinar. Understand this. You have taken a good step for deciding to watch this webinar to the end. But if you do not take this crucial step, then you are like the hunter who went into the bush to hunt and became lazy to roast what has been killed. And this is important because you have to be right yourself before you can get other things right. If you are not right with yourself, you won't get it right with your business, job, friends, relationship, and ultimately marriage. Great. You have to score yourself. So let's analyze it. Oh, relationship counselor. I grade myself and I am a right partner. Fantastic. This means you are a designer going to add color to the life of your partner. However, you need to keep working on yourself by reading books and seminars by true relationship experts. Consistent and constant working on yourself keeps you current every time. Relationship counselor. I did an honest grading and I realized that I am not currently the right partner. Study the attributes of the right partner as I explained earlier and begin to consciously practice it and live it out. Always put yourself in the shoes of your partner and do to your partner what you would like them to reciprocate to you, and you'll be able to prevent a lot of disagreements and issues in the relationship. Now, we have to come to the end of the webinar. If I continue to stall the unveiling of the four unbelievable gifts, then you might sue me to court. So I am going to do the needful because before lawsuits will hit me. Are you ready? All right, here we go. So, have you been to a relationship clinic before? It's okay if you have been to one before. I will walk down to one. You see, most people invest so much time and money paying to consult with medical experts, but the contrast is invested in true relationship experts. Hope you are following me. Well, let's keep going. Let's start with marriage. You know, that is one huge institution where people enroll and graduate at will without being properly tested to be sure they learned anything. And well, we know what happens to such people. They rush in and they rush out, which is why I am offering you this because the unbelievable offers are inside the relationship clinic. What is the relationship clinic? After helping thousands of families and single people get their relationship pulse right, I am opening the relationship clinic to as many people as want to get their relationship pulse right. In the clinic, I will be able to work with you one on one and then coach you on your relationship success. And I mean all kinds of relationships, romantic relationships, relationships with your family members, friends, workplace, acquaintance, etc. Now, here's what you will get if you join the relationship clinic. Now, I will, number one, do a full check up on you, answer your questions, and provide live answers to the issues or challenges you are personally going through in your relationship. This is something you cannot get here in this webinar. Number two, give you one of my books titled The Mystery of Singleness. This book is worth $50 for free, and I'm giving you for free. Number three, give you my book titled 10 Myths of Relationship for free. This book is also worth $50 based on the secret revealed in it, but you will get it for free. A whopping 50% discount of 200,000 relationship clinic free. For attending this webinar and staying till the end, I'm going to give you a 50% discount on 200,000. This means if you register now, you will be able to pay only 100,000 naira to attend the relationship clinic on Saturday, December 18, 2021. That will be a time before Christmas. So you can plan your Christmas around that and say that this is a Christmas gift I'm giving to my life, my home, and my family. And this is the bomb right here. For taking your precious time to wait till the end of this webinar, you get a 30 days money back guarantee if for some reason you believe you did not get any value after attending the relationship clinic. Then we will refund the money. But that is not all. You will get a free personal 30 minutes after event online counseling. This is worth $15. Now we hold the right to increase the price at any time without informing you. So if the yes, I want the 50% discount right now button, make payment and my team will contact you. How much does Bone Straight hair cost? It ranges from 60,500 naira to 300,500 naira. But the hair will not be able to save you when relationship trauma begins. You can have bone straight, whereas your life is not straight. So be aware of that. How much does it cost to get an Oculus 2? About $300, which does not come with added features that will help you wade through relationship storms and marital issues. Check that out. The point I'm trying to make here is that you have a healthy relationship with your spouse, family, parents and siblings, friends, colleagues, acquaintances, and clients, so customers. You'll be able to purchase and use your bone straight hair on your Oculus with a peaceful and sound mind. I mean, there are 1,001 things you can do with 100,000 naira. But you see, most of the sickness people have today could be could have been avoided if they have managed some relationships well. The big brother of relationship, Mr. Marriage, is the reason we have the kind of world we have today. If you do a thorough search on criminals, you will find that they could have ended far much better if their family had a strong positive influence on them. Many of us spend years learning how to become an accountant, a lawyer, an engineer, a doctor, a writer, a human rights activist, a technician, web developer, etc. Unfortunately, only a few people spend time learning and understanding relationships and marriage. When you want to get married, the customary lawyers will not test your knowledge and experience on marriage. Neither will most bride parents or groom's parents conduct tests before joining the bride and groom together. As a result of this, we have so many fools dancing down to the aisle. It's so unfortunate. You see, the government cares so much about the level of expertise drivers have more than the experiences or the experience two people getting married have. And that is the primary source of so many problems in the world today. Why should you add to the number of people struggling from broken relationship to marriage or the number of unlovable people due to some wrong ideology or perspective about relationships and marriage? Frankly speaking, only you can answer the question. Once again, here is the unbelievable offer you will get if you make payment now. A full relationship check on you, answer your questions, and provide life answers to the issues or challenges you are personally going through in your relationship. This is something you cannot get here in this webinar. You get my books titled The Mystery of Singleness. The book is worth $50 for free. You will get my book titled 10 Myths of Relationship for free. This book is worth over $50 based on the secret revealed in it, but you will get it for free. Number 4, a whopping 50% discount of 200,000 relationship clinic fee for attending this webinar and staying to the end. I'm going to give you a 50% discount on 200,000 naira. This means if you register now, you'll be able to pay only 100,000 naira to attend the relationship clinic on Saturday, December 18, 2021. And this is the bomb right here. I'm repeating that again. For taking your precious time to wait till the end of this webinar, you will get a 30 days money back guarantee. If for some reason you believe you did not get any value from attending the relationship clinic, then we will refund your money. But that's not all. You will also get a free personal 30 minutes after event online counseling with what? About $50. You will get these unbelievable offers if you register now. Remember, we can increase the price at any time without informing you about it. Click the yes, I want the 50% discount right now button, and I will meet you on Saturday, December 18, 2021 at Cherry View Estate, Lekki. I am Olariwaj Folorunsho, the relationship doctor. Connect with me on Facebook. I believe that you deserve to enjoy and thrive in relationships rather than to endure and grow in relationship. The opposite of thriving is striving. You will not strive. Thank you so much for your time, and bye for now.